Live.
Welcome everyone to the Altadena Talks podcast, the only one actually taking care of all the things that we need to take care of for our Altadena residents. And once again, I'm Brian Bacchus, and you'll never be.
I'm Jamal Smith. Welcome to our 40th episode of Altadena Talks. We love that everybody comes out and takes a listen to what we're able to gather in terms of resources to share with you in the recovery effort to rebuild Altadena bigger, badder, stronger, right? Sound like the Bionic Man. That's right.
Yeah, it really did.
My bad. I think I just kind of went
That
back.
was perfect, though. We're full of puns.
That's right. So we're going to jump ahead real quick to the announcements, and because we have an action-packed day with Tony, she's going to recap all the beautiful stuff that happened on the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the announcements.
Get busy, y'all.
There we go. All right, so I'm starting with the critical dates. Now, we know the American Red Cross, that registration date has expired. However, both FEMA and the Small Business Administration, the SBA, have extended their deadlines to coincide with the Army Corps of Engineers right of entry deadline, which is the 31st of March. So this has been extended, and you can actually, have until the end of the month to register for all three of those items. There's also still the grant for the LA County Housing Relief Grant. This is still the deadline is still the 12th for this one. And remember, you can actually get up to $18,000, and you can apply at lacountyrelieffund.com. This next slide kind of breaks down again how you can actually get the money and how it goes up to $18,000. So you can get up to $6,000 if you're a household of one or two members, including individuals living alone or couples without dependents. You can actually get up to $12,000 if there's at least three people in the home where at least one person is a dependent minor or a dependent adult. And lastly, you can get up to $18,000 for households with at least four people that include dependent minors and or dependent adults and consist of at least three separate generations. And remember, there's only going to be one grant awarded to each address.
So get your money, Mike.
That's right. The disaster relief claim assistance is available still at Jackie Robinson Center at 1020 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. It's available on Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Fridays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The Disaster Recovery Center is still open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week, and this is at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. And then the Permit Center has its own separate location again. This is at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210 in Altadena. It's really close to the Recovery Center. They're open from Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then from Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. Now we are. It's raining right now in many locations. It's going to be a light storm today, but the heavier stuff is coming in the next couple days, and there will be sandbags available again for pickup in the same four locations that they were before. Robinson's Park in the south parking lot from 1081 North Fair Oaks. Also Victory Park in the parking lot along Altadena Drive. That's at 2575 Paloma Street. And then at Fire Station 37 at 3430 East Foothill Boulevard. And lastly at Fire Station 38, which is at 1150 Linda Vista Avenue. All these locations are available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So go ahead and grab those sandbags to protect your land. If you're, in a flood zone, you might get affected by this stuff. Once again, Loma Alta Park is scheduled to reopen sometime in May. I put this up. It was kind of cool when I saw it because at least this is one small indication of where some of the money that was raised for some of the funding efforts. In this particular case, this was from the benefit concert from Fire Aid. So Loma Alta Park was awarded $2.4 million as a grant to rebuild the park. So I'll give you more information about this when it's officially open. And there's some other activities where you can actually help, like plant some trees and what have you, and help with the reopening of Loma Alta Park. So stay tuned. Today, and I don't know, well, anyway, on Tuesdays, beginning today, March 11th through April 1st, there's going to be free tacos at Food for Less from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this is at 1329 North Lake Avenue in Pasadena. This actually should be some fun. Now, there is going to be a webinar by the LA County Assessor. It's a disaster relief webinar. This is going to be this Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is Zoom. It's going to be on Zoom, and the topics are going to be property tax relief, online resources, and there's going to be live question and answers. You can register at assessors.lacounty.gov/events, and you're going to be able to hear from the LA County Assessor, Jeff Prang, and other county departments about available disaster relief and resources for property owners. Now, here's another thing. What we just talked about was the webinar. Now, there is also going to be an insurance support workshop, and this is going to be on Saturday, March 15th. It's going to be at John Muir High School, 1905 Lincoln Avenue in Pasadena. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this is going to be for LA residents affected by the recent fires to ensure they understand their insurance policies and are aware of the resources available during the rebuilding and recovery process. To reserve a one-on-one appointment with the experts, you can call 1-800-927-4357. But otherwise, you can, show up at Mirror and go to the workshop. Also on the 15th, there's a Black Family Wellness Expo. This is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Jackie Robinson Community Center at 1020 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. For registration info, send an email to B as in boy, F as in Frank, wellness 91109 09 at gmail.com. You're going to get free health screenings, free Colgate dental screenings, workshops and resources, snacks, and community resources. There's going to be a wildfire recovery and rebuilding conference. It's put on by the LA Sentinel and multiple other companies. This can be Saturday, March 29th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Hilton Pasadena at 168 South Los Robles Avenue in Pasadena. The conference is going to feature information about opting in assistance, banking and mortgage information, property tax and assessment, insurance, legal considerations, and engaging an architect and contractor. You can register by filling out or scanning the QR code below. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in so I can actually see the... Okay, anyway, just scan the QR code. I'll get the email address and put it on the side for tomorrow. It's another way that you can register. There's also going to be on the same day, Saturday, March 29th, there's going to be a Let's Rebuild Together, meet with a builder team, where this is where you're going to be able to meet with First Choice Design and Development to start your rebuild, get answers on planning, permitting, WUI compliance, and more. Sign up at the event and receive the Rebuild Our Neighborhood Building Bundle, including a 5K solar system. You go ahead and scan the QR code to reserve your spot. And again, it's Saturday, March 29th at 87 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Our friends at Union Station Homeless Services, again, every Wednesday, they actually have a pickup where you can actually get some great items from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. You get hygiene kits. You can get new bedding, towels, and clothing, full-size body bars and wash and soap and shampoo and conditioner. You get shelf-stable food and snacks and sack lunches, For the baby, you can get diapers, wipes, and formulas, and assorted gift cards. This is at the USHS Adult Center at 412 South Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. And again, it's Wednesdays 11 to 7. And for more information, you can reach out to Fire at ushs.org. Laundry Love every Wednesdays from 5:30 to 8:30. You can register to wash up to 6 loads for free. This is at Fair Oaks Laundry at 1344 Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena. Sponsored by Vallejo Drive, Seventh-day Adventist Church in Glendale, California. And the registration link is right there.
Right there. See it? Right there.
But I should go back. Okay, let me hold it. 1, 2, 3,
right there.
4, 5. Yeah, right there. And lastly, again, we're going to show the world central kitchen serving hot meals and offering portable water stations, support bi-weekly farmers markets. The locations closest to us are Sierra Madre YMCA, and this is at 611 East Sierra Madre Boulevard in Sierra Madre, and Gordy's Garage Parking Lot at 843 West Woodbury Road in Altadena. Both locations will be open from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then reopen from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Supporting bi-weekly farmers markets.
Yeah. So there we go.
Oh, we're back. Let me turn the light on. Oh, my God. Okay, we're not even going to waste any time, and we've kind of did a little upgrade. So when we introduced Tony today, she got her own theme music. Where's my theme music? Bring me my theme music. So without further ado, we're going to bring in the one and only hostess with the mostest. Had to be your intro.
Hey, that was her first time seeing it, y'all.
Threw her off with that.
Look, one thing I can say, Brian Bach is gonna do the most. He is a genius when it comes to all this stuff. So I'm laughing because he was like, "Oh, have you seen that?" I was like, but I know you're gonna do the thing. So
oh yeah, you know how we do it. Got to let them know.
Yeah, that's
this ain't one of them pre-recorded sessions. You know, we CNN up in this mug. You know, trying to tell you, trying to be what's that lady on CNN? Joy Reid, trying to be Joy Reid.
Used to be, yeah. She used to be.
Right. She's gonna start her YouTube, and it's gonna blow up just like Don Lemon did. Don Lemon's already reached 1 million subscribers. He was crying the other day when he was announcing. I don't know what I would do without
It's good to see, like, on all the everything that Jamal is, sharing, all the information. There's like tons of town halls, like builder events now. So that's super dope because
Nita,
because we're moving into that phase, right? So everybody is,
and you can't reach everybody. I mean, so hey, as long as you're doing it for Altadena, more power.
That's what I'm saying. It's so neat because you showed several of them. So I'm like, okay, that's dope because everybody has their niche, right? And everybody has their area of influence. So all these different ones now starting because I think the mentality is we've got to get to that next phase, right? Because we've done everything we can for phase 1 and 2. We have to wait on the Army Corps of Engineers to clear the lot. But if you don't do anything when you're waiting, it's just like a lull. And I think people will get stressed out and, all kinds of stuff. So it just, you just have to keep moving forward. And so it's cool that so many people are having events and that people can go to and get the right information and start their process. So that was good to see. And then I'm glad you put up that about Loma Alta because I remember talking about it last week and didn't know if I had given you the link about that volunteer effort to make sure that we go and either do the planting or the repainting and I talked about it again yesterday, like every Saturday in April, different shifts, 9 to 11, 11 to 1. I think
have
1
a flyer
to 3.
for that. I'm gonna put up tomorrow.
Or something.
That's
and so
info.
Super important that people go out there and do that. Although I'm a little bothered about the 2.5 million coming out of the fire aid funds because the way that concert was, and the Oscars and all these other organizations saying we're accepting money for those that lost everything, for the people who, lost, then to hear that concert, 2.5 million of it was given to rebuild a park that belongs to the county, right? This is me.
Don't they have money allotted for that anyway? Don't they have insurance?
I would have preferred that 2.5 million go to people, right? Even if it's like, hey, you're underinsured, or you don't have no money to insure. This grant is to help you. This 100,000 is to help you. This 100,000 to help you. That's my personal thing.
Right.
They say there was 600 million raised or something like that, and I hope that they break it down and not just these $6,000 or $12,000 grants, but 2.5 million for a park that technically right now, yes, somebody said it is still toxic up in that area.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of comments about that.
And there's people that have serious needs still. There's people that still are unhoused, and renters that had renter insurance, but their renter insurance is telling them every 3 weeks you got to move. You can't stay here long. You can't. And you took 2.5 million of that money from the concert that was raising for the fire victims to rebuild Loma Alta Park. And the Dodgers are already given for the 2 baseball fields. So I don't know. I feel some kind of way, but I'm not the decision maker. So all I can do is what I'm doing with the builders.
Now, what you said 2 baseball fields. Who was the other?
Both baseball fields are going to be there at Loma Alta Park. But
the baseball fields at Loma Alta Park. Okay.
Yeah, but the Dodgers are giving them, and they're calling them dream fields. So they're going to build them and make them all nice, and the dugouts and all that stuff. But they're called dream fields. So there will be no money that the county or any of that money has to go towards the fields, because the LA Dodgers are building those 2 fields. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's me personally. When I heard that, like, I knew that they got a grant, and I knew that there was like a check presented last week when she was up there,
right?
And all this stuff, but
no.
I hadn't heard that 2.5 million of it came from the LA Fire Relief Concert funds. I personally feel some kind of way about that, because there's way too many that have serious need that I think that money could have gone to. That park could wait.
No,
if it was
sure.
Yeah, if it was, if we don't get this money, we can't redo the park right now. That park is not as important as people and their needs, in my personal opinion. So I when you put that up, Jamal, that made me feel some kind of way a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I got you.
I'm glad that all these efforts are going on, but I don't know about that. That just like a gut punch, I would feel that way if I lost everything and then see that they're prioritizing 2.5 million of it for this park. I would just feel like that's a gut punch.
Right, especially if your house is right by it.
Right on the
really gonna be like, what?
Right, there you go. Anywho, that was okay. Anyway, we'll go on to the rest of the stuff.
Well, before you even go on, next week's show, I'm doing a lot of research. I'm trying to find out where the money's going from all these raising the funds of GoFundMe and all of that stuff.
All the charities, yeah,
it's just all this money that we see, and we don't see any of it going anywhere. Like, where's the accountability for the money you're raising? Who's getting it? Like, GoFundMe said that we're raising our money and we're going to give money to everybody that has a GoFundMe. I haven't seen any money from them, and I got a GoFundMe. So
you didn't get that $1,000?
Nope. And I sent them a letter going, where's this money going? You said everybody got $1,000. I didn't get anything.
I did. We did. And
I know maybe it's trickling down to the lower echelons of folks.
Shut up, lower echelons. So, and it happened like
peons.
No, it happened like that first week. I was like, GoFundMe, and it said $1,000. Not, to my mom, I was like, GoFundMe gave you $1,000. She was like, oh, they did? I was like, yeah. And that was before I heard they were giving the grants.
Oh, okay. Because I downloaded my whole list because I'm sending thank yous to everyone.
Yeah.
And I just see it.
Oh, you sending separate thank yous then to click on it and GoFundMe and send them? Oh, aren't you special?
Well, that makes them probably want to give more. That's the whole point. GoFundMe.
And it shows how grateful he is.
GoFundMe, brother.
Right, Ziva. So yeah, anywho, I got that vent out.
Hi, Altadena guys, saying Altadena friends or Easel
Hi,
Cat.
Easel Cat.
Easel Cat. What's up, Easel Cat?
Must be a bad painter.
Must be dope, right?
Yeah, you guys see some of that artwork.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about today? Oh, the weekend. Look, you guys know my brain is all over the place. You know, I got these laptops all here, right? Work, all this. And then I got my child in the hospital still. This is day 6.
Yeah.
That is really my precedence. And even at work, I'm not super focused. And I'm trying to be focused on every little thing. But I be texting my baby all day. Like, how's your breathing doing? How you feeling? What's going on? What the doctor's saying? You know, all that stuff. So that's really my focus and my priority. So forgive me if I'm not quite here or, I scramble. Yeah.
Absolutely. No big
deal. Regardless
keep it real on this show. No editing.
Yeah. So we're talking about Saturday in the Builders Town Hall. And I'm really thankful to everyone that was able to come out. It was a great event. It was about, I think, 150-ish people. There were 129 that actually did the Eventbrite tickets. And then there were several others that just showed up. Did I tell y'all about the contractor guy from Mississippi? Oh, I didn't tell you.
I saw you interacting with him.
Did you see
you shared a little bit about it.
So there was this big dude. Came with his denim jacket on, and before anybody really got there, the young man who was in the parking lot directing traffic, I had already told him, like, try to have everybody going to the front doors instead of coming around to the back, because I'm just having the contractors come in here, and I, unless they're elderly, they need assistance, have a cane, something like that. If they're able-bodied, have them go to the front. That way we can check them in. And so he was like, okay, cool. So I went out to get something or take something to my car, and I see him shaking hands with this gentleman who had backed his white pickup truck, into a space. And so I said hello. I greeted the gentleman. I was like, hi. I said, are you here for the event today? And he was like, I guess. I was like, okay. I said, well, welcome. I said, did you register? No, I don't think I did. And I said, oh, okay. He said, it's not an open event. I said, actually it is. I'm asking if you registered, because those that registered, that was for a head count so I could order food. So I'm just making sure. I did order a little bit more, but I just want to be sure. I said, so that's why I asked. I said, but you're welcome to, come on in or whatever. He was like, okay. I said, we're not quite set up. It starts at 11. I'll check people in. You could sign in anyway or whatever, right? So he was like, okay. Well, that was it, because I went back inside, and as the contractors and all the builders came, I went inside the conference room and I was telling them what the run of the order of service was and how we, we're going to do things, right? And then I wanted to make sure we prayed together first and just everything. So a little while later, Don Moore, who goes to my church, she was helping, her and Sandra Chapman were helping sign people in. And Don came and got me. She was like, Tony? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, come here, I need your help. There's a gentleman that won't really give us much information. And when I asked him, for his name or whatever, did he sign in? He said, I am the contractor. And he turned his back on us, like wouldn't talk to us no more. And I was like, oh, really? I said, okay, let me go see, right? So I go out, out there, and lo and behold, it's the same man from the parking lot. So I look at him and I said, oh, hello. I spoke with you earlier outside. He said, yeah. And I said, so they told me that, they asked you the same questions. Did you register? You said no. But they had said he just stopped talking to them and turned his back on them. And so I said, he said, well, I need to know exactly what this event is. And I said, this is our town hall, our Builders Town Hall. And everyone that's here today, I have a panel of people that I have fully vetted that are going to speak on the process, permits, everything they were going to talk about, right? Tell who they are, blah, 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 all this stuff. And so he was like, I said, so you're welcome to be here and hear what they're saying or not? And so he tells me, he says, well, I'm here from Mississippi and I'm here to get work because I have a feeling that not enough of us are getting work to be in on this. And I looked at him and I said, okay, well, again, you're welcome to be here, but this is not about people coming to get work. And this is not about you speaking or getting work or anything. But again, you're welcome to sit through it and see what they're talking about, blah, 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 blah. And he said, well, then apparently this isn't the arena for me. And I said, and it may not be. I said, but again, you're welcome to be here. I said, is that all or something? He was like, so he turned around to walk away. So I noticed, I guess it was his wife that was with him and some other people. Like, I guess they came out here from Mississippi because they heard about the fires, right? And heard that this is a historically Black town and all of this. And so he stood outside, like in the foyer, never came to one of the tables and sat or anything like that. And I said, just to myself, I kind of watched him. And you saw him, Brian, when he was in the foyer. I think he had this denim jacket on, and on the back, it was a
he was outside in the front when I saw him.
That too. Okay, yeah. He had this big round patch.
I think he was sitting on the bench or something right there.
That was orange, that bus bench. It was a big orange patch that said Black Contractors Association. So I guess that's in Mississippi. But my thing is, dude, you're a contractor in Mississippi, not in California. You're not going to get no work no way because you don't have a contractor's license out here. I don't care if you the contractor, the head of the organization or whatever. You can't work out here in California without a contractor's license out here. And it's, active and your bond and your insurance and all that. So I guess he wasn't happy that he thought he was going to come to this event and be able to get work from people. Right, or whatever, and make money off of people. But I told him that's not what this was, but he was welcome to sit through it or whatever. So I just said, okay. And I left it at that. And so he was in the foyer for a while. Then he was out, like you said, by the bench or on the sidewalk for a while. And then he left. And, probably by lunchtime or whatever, he left when we had that break. But I just thought that was very interesting that, I don't know how long he's been out here in California, but that he heard about it and he thought he would come and get work from people off of this. So that was it. Brian, Jamal, are you on mute purposely?
Yeah, no, I wasn't on purposely. I was just, that's an interesting story. I wonder how he found our event.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay.
And more importantly, what did he take away? But he was
kind of rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little bit rude. And so I didn't feel like, it was probably good not to have him there anyway. But just interesting to me that, you would come all the way from Mississippi to try to get work and show up at this. And when somebody asks you, did you register? No, but is it an open event? And we say yes. And would you like to be here? Well, this is in the arena for me. And he just had a really nasty attitude and stuff. When you coming out here trying to get work, bruh. And then to try to say, I'm concerned that not enough of us are getting work. It's plenty of Black folks that are contractors, that are, builders, whatever. We can make sure that we all get the work. We know tons of them, right? That are already in Altadena, making sure they're getting the work, whether they're from Altadena or not. If they know somebody from Pasadena or in Altadena, all of a sudden they're here. Like, there's plenty of folks out here that will get the work. So for him to come from Mississippi, feeling like he just had to be here and do it and, was rude and nasty, I was like, okay, maybe it's not the arena for you. So he left after a while, though. So it was what it was. But other than that, the event was, the feedback that I've heard was that it was really good and it was valuable information, which is what I was hoping for. Tell me what you all have heard from people. Because Jamal, you couldn't be there at all. You had other obligations. Brian, you were there until about 12:30 and left.
Well, from what I was seeing during the break, everybody was like engaged. We got photos to show. I mean, you can see the intentness on everybody's faces. They were paying attention. The run of show was in order. You did give people breaks before they went back to sit down again. So, I mean, it was ran to perfection to me.
Okay.
You did call me out a few times, but I get it. It's like everybody there. Brian, everybody quiet. Brian.
Well, that was because you were over in the foyer talking, and you got a deep voice, right? And it carries.
And I didn't know that it
were doing
pushed
like
back
this
up.
to me, like who's out there talking? So that's why I was like, Brian, like.
I know how those are because, in Inglewood, all the apartments have that patio. And if you sit outside and talk, everyone can hear what you're saying. You can't even whisper. So I got it. I shut up right away.
Like that one time I was like, you were like, oh, okay.
So I did get feedback from a few people, including Marcus, who attended and was on yesterday and gave his point of view. But everybody I heard from has indicated that it was a very useful town hall.
Okay.
One of the goals that I know that you specifically were trying to accomplish was to provide intel for folks where they were, right? So meaning everybody had to get ready for phase 3, what we're calling, which is after the debris removal, but not everybody was at the same place. So for those that needed to understand the process, from idea to certificate of occupancy and all those steps in between, I think that gave them the roadmap. For those that kind of understood some of the basics, it gave them even a little bit more detail about whatever step they were on and how to maybe proceed. And in particular, for those who didn't have a builder yet, you gave them some options. So everybody was saying, it was very, very good. And as we've all heard, some people were a little overwhelmed. And those are those people that weren't really, really prepared for phase 3. But again, it gave them some hope. And I think even you had mentioned that Don or someone else had mentioned that they had hope now after they left the town hall, which is come on, what else could you hope for, pun intended, right? So it was good overall. It was very, very, very good. And I have folks inquiring about the next one. I don't think they're ready like for next week, but they know that there's gonna be a need in the near future.
Well, there is probably going to be one by the end of next week, maybe next Saturday. It's likely to be in Monrovia at one of the apartment complexes that have probably 2,000 Altadenians. My sister and my parents happen to be staying there, and I've been asked, could I do it there? I did not get the opportunity yesterday to contact them, but I am going to today and talk to the management because they have these rooftop decks that are amazing and pool decks and all these other things, and see what we can do because they have a lot of events for them already. They've got yoga classes, they've got sound bar classes, like it's an amazing complex. And so some people that heard about it that saw me when I was visiting my parents the other day were like, could you do that here? And then I also am in the planning phases of doing it via Zoom, because what I want to do is I don't want people to think that if they didn't come to something in person that they're going to miss out. Right. And I want to give the people that were there the opportunity to have more time with the builders because, we ran out of Q&A time. And I want to do breakout rooms. Now, trying to also be mindful that some seniors may use Zoom and some may not, right? Some may need to do it in person, some may not. So my goal is to get the email out today, by tomorrow, to everyone that came, which will be a recap email, and just say, really thank you for attending. These are the builders that were there. This is their contact information. I want to make sure that not the sheet per se that I put on all the tables, but in the email, I have their photo, their name, their website, their license number, like I had on the sheet, and then their contact information or how to best get in touch with them, even if that means the link to their contact page on their website. Sure. And for others, it might just be the phone number. So I'll put those things after I speak with each builder and say, what's really your preferred method. Some may say phone number's fine. Others may say contact, my website contact, because then I can have a record of it. Right. And so whatever they decide, I'm going to do that recap. and send that out. I also have to ask all of them today. I'll be contacting all of them because we spoke about having that. What was it? Oh, Brian, you had left. At the end, I got to call Allison though about a page, and it might be under the event page where the event was, but all the links, they talked about having a guide, right? And it's not a FAQ or a Q&A thing, but this other guide that all builders have. So I'm going to find out today, get that, and then shoot those over to you because we need to put those on there. If I can't edit the page, if I can, I'll put it on there. But either way, update that, send the email out to everyone. I also am going to do a survey to get their feedback, right, from the event, see how we can improve it going forward and what they would like to see in it, right? I think maybe less builders or break it up some or something like that. So yeah, I'm working on some things now, again, behind the scenes, but people have asked me like, when's the next one, right? Because we do want to come, we need more of the information, but like you said, some people need a little bit more time to even digest what they got on Saturday.
Certainly.
Right. Some are like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I think Kendra has consultations all this week from people that were there that linked with her.
I'm not surprised.
All the way now through the 22nd, she has consultations. I had some nice stuff happen yesterday. One gentleman that I know who owns a machining business in El Monte, him and his business partner, said if I need anything made out of aluminum, metal, or steel, including studs, let them know. All I need is the dimensions and how many they need done a day, and he could spit them out. And I was like, hold up, studs to build these houses back so we don't have to do timber boxes? And he was like, whatever you need, Tony, I got you. And I was like, shut the front door. Right. So I texted a couple of the builders, was like, hey, give me estimates, and I sent them to him, and he was like, okay, this is good as a start, but what we need is called a plate. It's something, you know, the dimensions for machining and all that I don't have a clue about, right? Mm-hmm. But they all understood it. And so I was like, perfect. That could potentially, since they're local here in El Monte, South El Monte, could be something that would be very beneficial to the builders. And then we know that guy named Ryan was there from Gigacrete, and he talked about his product, and he would work with builders, and his product could go for like $65 a square foot or something to that effect. And they would do their markup based on them managing the whole project, right? Like consulting with the person, doing the architectural stuff, you know, their architect signing off on it, submitting it to planning for the permit, just everything, right? Pouring the foundation, all the things, the stuff that they have to do. Markups could be, you know, $300 a square foot, whatever, and bring them in at $365. It could be $250 and bring them in at $315. Well, was working with someone, and I got a connection to a young man who is a real go-getter, nice young man. I was introduced to him already, but we're going to have more in-depth talks, but he can come in less expensive than even that guy by about $15, which would make it more affordable to build these houses. So I'm trying to work with a couple builders and get a commitment that if we can get it at $50 a square foot, this is all fireproof, right? It's like the steel beam, and they literally make all the panels so that they're shipped as a panel. It's not a modular home per se. They just, in the manufacturing process, it's your beam or your stud. I'm sorry. It's your stud. They could do the headers, the roof line beams, everything, all in steel. But then when it comes as a panel, it has the insulation in between. It has the interior wall. And when I tell you, this stuff is better than drywall, because I was hitting it with my knuckles and I was like, ow, dang, right? And it could be fully painted. It's just like a wall in your house, but it could be painted in whatever color you want. It comes in a natural color. Oh, and then the outer wall also comes. So literally the panels come intact with each of the posts, the steel posts what are they, 16? The studs are usually 16 inches apart or whatever, but it comes like that in a panel. And if we could get them through this young man, the same exact product, because it's all over. He was just there for that one, right? And lots of companies have them. Then we could really work with these builders for affordability, especially for the seniors. And a couple of them have stated that they really want to do everything they can to get these seniors back into their homes.
Heck yeah.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm constantly on the phone, texting, calling, whatever, trying to find all the resources so that at the next one, we have more information that's extremely valuable to people. And then, like I said, probably not this weekend, maybe the following Saturday, I might be at this apartment complex in Monrovia, and maybe a couple of weeks later somewhere else, large scale. But definitely within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to try to have something on Zoom during the week on an evening, maybe on a Thursday evening or something at maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock for an hour, and do breakout rooms. And then that way, people that say, you know, I was at the town hall and I'd like to spend some time talking to Justin Love of Love Construction, or I'd like to spend time talking to Ariel because he said as an architect, he'd give me an hour of free architecture, right? Consultation. And I'd like to, or sketching or something to that effect. I'd like to spend an hour with Williams Homes or Allison from PCI or Kendra, whoever, right? Then we could have breakout rooms for all of the people, and they can literally go and ask the questions that they need to ask that weren't necessarily, because we ran out of some time, that they weren't able to ask at the town hall, or listen to other people's questions and get answers that they didn't know they had questions to, right?
I have a quick question about that, though, regarding the questions. And you had shared a potential plan that you had related to that, the fact that you ran out of time for questions. You had mentioned about having people write their questions down. And so did you actually do all that and reach out to the builders? I mean, could you explain the process you were planning to do?
So I told people, send me their questions. And I said, it's TonyTalks@AltadenaTalks.com. I have not got one question yet. But I told them, if you send me your questions, then what we'll do, I'll take them all down and I will send them to all of the builders in a mass email, right? And then each of them could send back what they want, right, as their answer, because people are going to answer it differently. It'll be basically, you know, the same based on how the industry works, but they may answer it a little differently. And then I would send it out to everyone. These questions were asked and these are the answers, but I haven't gotten any questions yet.
Interesting. I'm surprised by that.
I have a feeling that, me too. I have a feeling people might want to wait for the summary when I send that email, and then they might say, oh, and by the way, I had this question. That's why I'm trying to get it out by tomorrow, because I don't want to wait. I want to keep the momentum going for them and keep it fresh in their mind in case they do. And I will say that, like, hey, and by the way, do you have any questions? Feel free to, reply to this email with any questions that you have for the builders.
Yeah, I thought when you were sharing that with me the other night that that was a great idea, and I wanted folks to know what was going to happen with that, because I know you mentioned it or said that you had mentioned it at the end. But it would be cool, to let folks know. But shoot, if you haven't got any questions yet, hey,
can't answer them, right?
Maybe right. So maybe soon.
Right.
And then the other thing, it wasn't a question, but it's a comment, and I know it's probably already, because it's going to be a Zoom, it'll be recorded. One of the things that we definitely want to try to do for any event that we do, especially these informative things, is get some sort of recorded component of it so that people can either have it sent to them, they could share it with others, but they can also refer back to it whenever they want to. So I'm pretty sure for the Zoom call, you'll probably record that. And if you weren't, then I'm suggesting that you do, but I'm pretty sure you're already gonna do that.
Yeah, of course, Jamal.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna go ahead and take on that load.
You know what? Sorry, I got to take a quick call. Sorry.
It's super, recording on Zoom is like a no-brainer, right? And when people jump onto it, if the recorder's on, they have to click yes, I consent to being recorded, whatever that little thing is. But that's a no-brainer for me.
Well, the cool thing about it is that we can actually put that connected to our YouTube channel. So that way the Zoom is just not right there. It'll be going someplace where people can actually go. So that'll be excellent.
Yeah. And then do you want to bring up some of the photos or whatever from the event? Because you have them, right?
I actually got a video queued up.
Oh, perfect.
But before that, I just want to give some shout outs to our people that are on Instagram. We got the Child 1969. That's my boy Daryl Triplett. Welcome to the show. We got Lizzie H. Pressure. We got Melody Lampkin. Good to see you on Saturday at the town hall. I'll see you on here checking it out. We got Queen Pink. That's Kamara. And we got Mosai Moore and Brandon, who was actually taking the pictures for us on these underground, underground media. So
he did some amazing photos. Thank you.
Yeah,
he really captured. Yeah.
You'll probably come back on tomorrow, Tony, so we can do the slideshow and stuff like that if you're available. But just wanted to give those people some shout outs. And then I got a video queued up. You know, it's actually when we first got there was when I spoke and then you spoke. I was going to cue that up. That's only about 6 minutes. So this is a tear jerker, folks, because, you know, our girl Tony, she may be acting like she a hard ass half the time, but I'm going to tell you right now, that girl got a sensitive side. She be breaking down. Look, I'm
never acted like I'm not, I'm a full woman, bro. What are you talking about?
I
am a cry baby.
That's so funny.
I'm a full crybaby. I will say it in a heartbeat. What did you? Oh, did you get what was in the conference room?
No. I didn't film it.
Okay, good.
No, this is with me and you after the prayer.
Oh, did I get teared up? I probably did.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, roll the tape, Jim. Hold on. Make sure it's the one. Okay, that's the long one. Okay, it's right there. Okay. Yeah, so we came out. We had a good time. It was an awesome experience. Let me see if this is the one. Which one is it?
And I'm upset I couldn't make it. Obviously, I had my reasons, but when I saw the pictures, Tony, I heard you gave me a mental visual. But when I saw the pictures of how things were set up, man, you had it on point with the everything. I mean, the tables, the chairs. I don't know why I was thinking, you know, those little white fold out chairs and what have you, but nah, you had like comfy chairs. You had all the printouts and the pens and papers. Even Marcus was like, man, that was awesome. Had everything I could write on, and oh man, and the breakouts and the fact that you were snatching mics from people and turning them off when they
I only had to snatch a mic.
Let me take that back from you, buddy.
Right, I only had to snatch a mic from one person.
But you had to keep a couple folks on point from because they were asking Q&A questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's not time for that. Not
so
right
I'm going to give a disclaimer on this video. Tony, you threw me off because I had a joke that I was going to say when I was saying millions of views. And then you said millions because I was going to say, no, it's really 22,000. But you jumped in. I couldn't finish it up. So I just said, yeah, millions of views. So that's the disclaimer, folks. So when you watch this video, just know that I didn't get a chance to get it out. And Tony was right there like I would do to clown real quick. We always need the banter. I don't mind being fodder for the banter. So without further ado,
none of us do.
Going to play the video. Jamal, can you kill that music in the background on mute?
What happened was, the reason why the podcast got started is that I've been running down, I'm live. Never cried on video before. Started talking about it, started crying, and got millions of views. And so at that point, I started.
Can we turn it up?
what can I do to make Altadena talks? Yeah.
Is that better?
No, I'll show it to you.
You better, yeah.
It's crazy. So after that, I was going into a deep depression because I lost everything, and I'm an entrepreneur, so my camera equipment and all my stuff's gone. But I thought everybody's paying attention to me saying stuff on here, so I decided to start a podcast. And me and my business partner Jamal, we started coming on and talking to everybody about where the donation stations are, where resources are. And then I kept seeing Tony's posts, and she had good stuff, and I was sharing it. And I said, Jamal, this lady over here got something going on. We need to bring her on the show. So we brought her on the show. After that, we just made her a permanent fixture. So that's how Altadena Talks got started. And that's why you guys are all here today, because of Tony being on the show and interviewing all these lovely people. And that's all I really got to say. I don't have to say too much, but thank you for coming. And we're going to have many more of these. We hope that you get the best information you can. This is all about them telling you what can be done and how you can participate or ask them questions afterwards. So I'll turn this back over to Tony. I'm supposed to talk 10 minutes.
And that was 1 minute 53 seconds.
Yeah, and my desire was, I'm gonna do this without crying. I'm gonna try to do this without crying.
That's why I got off. I don't want to cry.
My desire really came from trying to make sure I helped my parents who bought their house in 1968 when I was 2.5. And all I could think of was I have to get my parents the information for all the resources that I could get them. And then I started thinking about I need to make sure my parents rebuild their house. And
People need to turn their phones off.
touching people that can help rebuild their house, and not just my parents, but my community.
Watch Tony give him that cut eye look. What?
We've been now to begin. We've been here 57 years now. I don't currently live in Altadena. I bought a house 4 years ago in San Diego because I couldn't afford Altadena. But my sister and my parents were displaced because they had losses during the fire. So my thing is, I need to make sure my parents can rebuild. And so one night I prayed and said, God, I need you to connect me with the people that are gonna help rebuild our community. And this is a result. And I started literally having people drop into and be connected with me. And the first one was Kendra Ma's, Kendra Custom Homes. And I brought her on the podcast. And then Salamine, and I brought him on the podcast. And then Patrice Quishenberry of Williams Homes brought her on the podcast.
Tongue twister.
And so many more. And then one gentleman is here who will speak today, who showed up here today. I didn't even know who he was. He was like, hi, I'm Brian. I'm supposed to speak today. I was like, at my town hall? No, you're not. Like, I don't know you, but I didn't met you, so no, you're not speaking today. And then literally, that was our conversation. Where's Brian? He'll tell you. No, not you, Brian. You're the architect. No, you're Kendra's architect. I know who you are. There's a whole other guy, Ryan, who has a whole steel stud building system. And I told him he wasn't speaking today, but he is speaking today because after we spoke, and I knew God sent him here, and he told me where he drove in from this morning, it was like, you're absolutely aligned with what this is about. So I'm gonna kick this off and really start us by first introducing and speaking with someone who is with Wildfire. His name is Jeff Bailey. He happens to be my brother, so it was kind of easy to get him here. But Jeff is gonna talk about the regulations about rebuilding, because he was telling me on the phone a week or two ago about SAR, LAR, something that I have no clue about, but I wanted him to come and speak because I think as all of these builders speak to you all and explain what they offer, how they can help rebuild Altadena, and then each of you decide whether or not someone can help you, if something resonates with you, if you connect with any of them, and then decide later to work with any of them. At least you understand the starting point, you understand the process, you understand the permitting process, the building process, because I can't imagine having to think about, what do I do? Where do I start? So, Jeff, I'm gonna give you this mic, and if you
Did the sound cut or something?
No, that's the end of that video. It's a 6 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah, that's it. I wasn't looking. That's why.
No, it's all good.
Okay, so let's get that over there. And back to reality. Oh, let's bring us all back. Where are we at? There we go.
Yeah, so that was the kickoff of it, and it went from there, and it wound up being really good, interactive. I was gonna do everybody, right, and then do Q&A, and then they could talk to builders, but midway I thought no, because I have like 9 or 10 speakers or something, so I'm glad I decided instead to break it up. So we went from 11 to 12-ish, and then it was about 11:55. Yeah. And I said, let's come back at like 12:10, go get your sandwiches, pizza, whatever, and come back. And everybody came back about 12:15. We started back. But during that time, they could get something to eat, their water. And
they also talked to the builders too.
And the builders.
Went over there.
And yeah,
a ton of people over there, man. I wish I was leaving. I wish Brandon would have caught those pictures. I really wanted to get group pictures of every builder's group. So
I sent you some pictures and videos. I uploaded a whole bunch. Did you get that? I shared the folder with you.
Oh, I did see one video. I didn't know it was a folder. I thought it was just a video.
It's a whole folder. It's like 60, 70 photos and videos.
Okay, I'll transfer it over to the Altadena Talks G drive then.
Yeah, that's fine. And so there's a ton of them. And I think there may be some there because Monica Woods was taking pictures all over. And I think she might have taken some of that as well. But anyway, so yeah, it turned out pretty good. My mama tried to clown me, like I said yesterday, talking about there's a lot of good information, but it's too overwhelming. No, it was all good. I get it. They're in their 80s, right? And there's been nothing but an onslaught of information for 2 months.
Right.
But of course,
it's the information that you didn't want to hear, like problems with debris removal and all this FEMA stuff. We're getting past all that. So now we're getting to the point where let's think about permits. Let's think about getting your designs in, stuff like that. So
yeah. And that's why I said it's good that so many others. There's 6,600 homes. That doesn't even include the buildings, right?
Yeah, that's 9,000 structures if you include those.
9,800 or whatever. So there's so much out there, and there's so many groups and people that have, in my opinion, I haven't vetted all these people, but that have something to offer, right? And I think that people are, I hope that people are being sincere and not trying to have a money grab, right? Because it's very easy for somebody to look at it like, oh boy, they wanted to, I want work, right?
Right.
Well, that's not the place to get it. We're not even at the working stage yet.
Yeah. And it didn't sound like he knew either, right? So however he got that information, he was misinformed.
Well, yeah, you never know, right? What anybody is thinking, but he literally, like you said, probably misinformed, was like, I don't think enough of us, our people, are getting the work. So I came out here to get the work. No, bruh.
Yeah, ain't no work.
There's
came
plenty of
Yeah.
us out here. You don't have to come out here.
Right. You came out here just to try to make money off of us, period. Whether it's to get the work, but to say I am the contractor and all that foolishness, you came out here to just make money, period. All you saw was LA, the Palisades, and Altadena, and have heard because of Ben Crump and all that Altadena is historically Black. So you were like, oh, I'm going to that town, right? I'm gonna go there and try to get some work. So that's the part. That's why I had to change it mid-sentence and go, I hope, right? I hope that people are really being genuine and that this is for the love for people.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, if it's just a money play, like, go.
Well, there's so many eyes on this right now. I mean, that are paying attention that if anybody tries to do that money grab, I think it ain't gonna work for very long. I really think so, because there's gonna be a lot of folks talking and sharing info about folks who are trying to take advantage of other folks. If that's the case,
I think
we're too fickle.
I think people are gonna start being exposed for who they are and what they're really trying to do. Because it's time, because there's so much that's constantly happening and people are hearing. And so I think that people are gonna I don't know if he was referred, Elaine. It's all over the national news. It's been all over the national news.
Exactly, because my boy came and I said, "What you doing here?" Because I'm like, you live in Paris, California, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I follow everything Altadena. I got a whole list, that everything is always announced. I said, okay, send me that list because I need to see that.
Right.
Because I didn't even know about it. So hopefully we can see that list, and now we can be in the know about things.
I mean, it's literally been on worldwide news. It's not just national. It's been all over the globe because these were so devastating, and an entire town was wiped out, and half of another city, right? Because half of Palisades is gone, half is still there, but basically a whole town almost, right? So it's been global, and people see. And if you're a contractor, and again, you hear this is a historically Black town, which I keep telling people, no, it ain't. Tulsa was a historically Black town. Altadena was white, but because redlining didn't happen, and when people wanted to buy in Pasadena, they said go to Altadena, right? And the majority were on the west side, because if you wanted to be on the east side, you jumped through some hoops, a whole lot still, right? Cash deposits, all kind of foolishness. But we were able to buy there. So the narrative of it being historically Black, people put that out there for whatever reasons. That's their business. But that is out there, and Ben Crump amplified it. So therefore, that message has gone all over, because Ben Crump be all over, right? And so because of that, he hears in Mississippi, sees it on the news probably, oh, well, let me go. If it's a historically Black town, then they're gonna need some Black builders, whatever. And part of why at my townhouse I had a variety of people is because we have always been diverse in Altadena, and we want that back as far as our diverse neighbors coming back. And to me, that means diversity in our builders, right? We need everybody, just like we need everybody who wants to stay and who can afford to rebuild. We need all our neighbors back, and we need to be able to say, okay, let's all do this together. Jamal, can you make sure today we're putting up that link for the volunteer sign-up sheet, and then, or Brian, and that we also put it in the actual Facebook, so people can click on it or whatever, because people are asking, and I've got to really put it out there a lot when I send the email out no later than tomorrow. That will be in there as well, because a few people have texted me like, hey, I want to volunteer when you're ready to help build the houses or whatever. So that's super important. I do know that LA Times reporter is going to do or was there, and she stayed the entire time and even talked to me a little bit afterwards. So she said, can I have your number? I have your email, but can I have your phone number in case I have follow-up? So I was like, absolutely, and gave it to her. And then the other guy that was there, he was a documentarian with Allison. At first I wasn't going to let him, film, but then I was like, we filming. The more Altadenians are filming and put it out there, I'm okay with it because it wasn't going to be exploitative, right? He was an Altadena resident for the last 4 years, lost everything he had. Right now, they're displaced in South Pass. But one of the builders on the panel, Allison, he is shadowing her for her documentary as to what she's doing to help assist our town in rebuilding. So after talking to him the night before or the day before for a little while, about an hour, I felt comfortable with it and allowed him to, be there. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still tired. This daylight savings time. Whew, I cannot stand losing an hour.
No.
What messed me up is my car. It was still an hour back, and I'm going, oh, I got plenty of time. But then when I looked at my phone, I was like, oh, wait, I know.
And my phone switched, but all my house stuff didn't. So finally, I think last night, I'm looking at 8:40 and it was 9:40. So let me change this clock on this microwave and on this
oven. You wake up and be late to everything.
I was 45 minutes late waking up for work yesterday. I didn't get up till 6:47. I usually start work at 6 a.m. I was like, oh,
Did you say your car switched automatically?
Yeah,
no,
my car's
what kind of car is that?
Don't even get her started. She got the dopest car in town right now.
I need to know. I mean, I probably won't get it, but I just want to know.
I have a Cadillac Lyric.
Okay.
But you got to see it. It's like this dope color, and it's all electric. You got these 29s on it.
22s, not 29s. I ordered 22. He's laughing because I customized it, right? They have like this base one, but I got like the Napa leather and juniper color, which is like this greenish. It's like a teal. I ordered the Nimbus, which is the outside color. I did. Hey, Kendra. There's one of our wonderful.
Hey, Kendra.
Like I, got the black roof, the sunroof, I wanted every bell and whistle and the extras because I'm extra. So I was like, my kids call me extra. So I was like, okay, this is an extra car. I still have my little convertible Volkswagen too, my EOS. But, and every now and then I drive that, especially locally. But yeah, the car switched itself.
Jeff confirmed you're really extra cool. at
my brother
town hall.
My brother, he knows because he's 3 years younger than me, and I used to bully him.
I said, you got a spitfire for a little sister. He said, man, I've been dealing with that all my life. It's new to you.
It's new. I heard him say it because I'm 3 years older than him, and baby, I used to punk him, and for real, like. And even though I'm the middle child, like my sister's older, him, and then me and our other brother that passed away, I'm like the bossy of everybody, right? And so yeah, he has been dealing with it, and he's so gracious. But sometimes he's like, Tony, and I'll be like, all right, let me leave you alone a little bit, right? But I'm his big sister, so it is what it is. But no, I love my brother. He's and I had to correct myself, and I have to stop calling him my little brother. He is my brother. He's only 3 years younger, but kind of like I'm the big sister forever. And even my sister, who's 3 years older than me, I'm like her boss too. I'm like the boss.
No, we're gonna do it this way or not at all.
Pretty much. So, but anyway, so I'm really thankful for everyone that came out. I'm thankful for the feedback. I will be sending the survey out and the recap email. I'll make sure you two are CC'd on it. Because I really want to hear feedback from people because that's how we improve, right? And that's how, if it's something people didn't like, let us know because we can do the adjustments and make the changes going forward.
Is that going to the builders as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, because I had feedback about some of the builders too, to be honest. Right. And people were like, no, and that's
I feel for some of them though, because their representation may not have been up to par. Their work may have been good, but their presentation skills, from what I've heard, a couple, may have been, certain things
lacking.
May have been lacking. Exactly.
Yeah.
So perhaps they should have someone else come and present for them.
Because I make phone calls to people, right? Mm-hmm. To talk to them. I'm not just sending emails or texting, and I have to provide that feedback because if I don't, and you come to another one, I don't want you coming, spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you get nothing, right? That nobody wants to come to your table, that people feel like, I don't want to interact with this person, because you're right. Their work may be outstanding, but if we don't have a presentation to show, if we don't have the interaction or whatever, right? I want everybody that has a heart for Altadena to be a part of this project. And I call this group like our project, right? Or our project team, put it like that. We've got architects, we've got design builders. There's one lady that I met Sunday after church that was like, hey, I'm an interior space planner. Can I get in? I was like, well, I got a couple design builders and another young lady who's a junior designer that's going to work with a couple of the design builders. But I'll let you know if we need that, right? Because one of our design builders may say, Tony, do you know anybody else that can help us with yada, yada, yada? We got 6,600 homes. I'm not going to be like, no.
Yeah. Even the dude from Mississippi can get some work, but he has to get vetted.
Not only does he have to get vetted, he's not a contractor in California, which means he's going to have to work up under somebody. And I'm going to tell you, with that ego and that attitude, he probably will not, which would be the issue, right? Not, we don't want you to work, because we need to work. Just like I'm trying to build a volunteer army. We got to have bodies, boots on the ground, ready to do what we got to do to build us back. Yes. But if you come in here with this attitude, like I am the contractor, he didn't say that to me, but that's what he said to Sandra and Don. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, that's what he told us. And then turned his back on them and would not talk to them anymore, wouldn't answer a question or anything.
I refuse.
Basically. And that's when Don came and got me. And I was like, how can I help you? And that's when I had to tell him, well, they did already have a specific presentation, Elaine. That's why I asked them a question. And that's what I told them. And I did give them 15 minutes each. That's what was done.
Now, let me ask you, Tony. I left. So, were there any other presentations like Kendra's?
No. And every single person that was on the panel, I spoke with in the days leading to it. I called each of them and I said, do you have a presentation that you would like to play when you're speaking? Patrice said, oh, Williams Homes has one. I said, please email it to me. She emailed it to me, but when I clicked on it, I couldn't access it. It was only accessible to her email from her marketing man. So I emailed her back and I said, I don't have access. Can you download it? Can you click in there, download it, send it separately or whatever? I never got a response back. I didn't get a presentation. So that was Williams Homes. I also told them, if you would like to bring any materials so people can see a countertop, a drawer, anything that you use, siding, flooring, any of that, please bring it. Please bring flyers, business card, whatever, because I'm going to try to have tables for you to do that, right?
Well, that's exactly what it was, Elaine. If you had a presentation, it seemed like it was short. If you were just talking, it seemed like it was long. So that was the whole point of having a presentation. And Tony, if you don't mind, we do have Kendra's presentation queued up.
Go
if
for
you want
it.
to show it.
Sure.
Because I thought it was very informative. She spoke well. And I'm not just saying this because she's watching the show right now.
No, I know you would.
This is the absolute truth.
Yeah.
So,
but out of all of them, the discussion that I had with Kendra, I had with everybody, she came prepared. Everybody else, I right? So if you are here to present to people, not only the specific question that I said, so-and-so is going to talk about, can you tell me about the permitting process? Can you tell me about the building and the phases, whatever it was that I asked? They talked specifically about that. They told who they were, what their business is, and talked about that. They had the opportunity in those 15 minutes. And I told everybody you have 15 minutes. And then when we went in the back before we came out in the conference room, I reiterated that to everyone, the time and all of that, Elaine. So just so that you know the behind the scenes work, what you're suggesting was done prior to, and we saw who brought their stuff. So go ahead, Brian.
All right, well, here we go. Jamal, you mind muting that music?
Yeah, I got you.
I get this party started. Take that banner down too, please.
Yep.
And here we
and
go.
understand what needs to happen as these builders speak.
Great.
It's Jeff first.
My name is Jeff Bailey. I'm the supervisor and deputy state fire marshal for San Diego County, Riverside County, and Imperial County.
You want to skip past him?
Yeah.
And I am here
Yeah.
hoping to kind of give you information. It's very hard to have defensible.
He's doing that. All right, let's go back to where you have to take the mic.
So if you see Cal Fire Code, you go into the website, that's law. That is the minimum standard. Now, LA County or LA cities say, we want to do something more strict. Fantastic, that's great, but you can't do anything less. That's it. So yes. Oh, very good. Okay.
You see how you looked at him?
No, I said something to him. That was the big sister. The big sister had to say what she did to the little brother.
As much as possible. Thank you, Jeff. And we will have time for questions. So I put this on your table.
Because he said, does anybody have any questions? And I had to tell him, no.
Questions you have, and so when the time comes, we can ask questions of people as you need to. I'm going to
Right, you troublemaker.
our first witness.
You, not me.
Kendra Custom Homes. And Kendra, I'm just going to ask you this one question, and you all see it on here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit, Kendra, and ask you about the design and construction process, because I'd like to know about that. I know everyone here wants to know about it. And just how long it takes to do the different phases, or what are the different phases of a project of building a home. Sorry, we only have one mic available, so we're going to share it. Oh, yeah. You want to
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to step down here because I have a presentation and I want to get close to it so I can speak with you. My name is Kendra Ma. I am a general contractor, an interior designer, and a custom home builder. We specialize in affordable custom homes. I am joined today by my project manager in the back, Ron Jones, and my architect, Ryan, who's going to speak with you a little bit later on the permitting process. But I was asked to speak today on the design and build portion of your home. Because when you start that, both of those go hand in hand. You want to design something that is going to be fit for your lifestyle, and then the step-by-step. So I'll quickly,
I don't know what's happening.
as fast as I can, kind of go through the step-by-step process of the design.
Probably just bandwidth, just the internet.
So today's presentation will cover a brief summary of the step-by-step design and build process for your home.
Dang it.
So the first thing you want to do in the design and build process is the planning portion. This process is before any work begins. I like to call it the homeowner's homework. This is where you start your own research. This is the time that you as a future homeowner begin the process of curating your home and lifestyle needs. You get yourself a dedicated notebook, a spiral notebook, and you want to start writing things down. You want to write down the style of home you want, how you need to breathe and maneuver in your home, the lifestyle you would like to have in your home. I say all the time that, it's way more than just designing a home. You're designing a lifestyle. And since you're doing it from the ground up, this is a really good time for you to be able to say, what are your special needs in this home? How would I like to conduct my lifestyle in my new space? Write down your must-haves, because when you start talking about budgets and timelines and things of that such, you want to know the things that you really, really, really want, so you can save in other areas in order to splurge on the areas that are really the most important to you. So, maybe a little half a dozen things that your home must have, the things that you don't budget with. If you have special needs, wider doors, like those types of things, you want to write that stuff down before you even sit down with the designer to plan the home, so you will have a good indication of how you would like to live in your space. The next phase is actually the design phase. The design process can be one of the most rewarding stages of new builds because this is the process of taking your concept and making it realistic. This is when you choose your architect, or in my case, if you're a design and build, you can choose a design and build firm. And this is one of your most important selections because your architect or your design build will be your ultimate partner in helping you create your dream home. We're walking with you as you do this process. So it's really important when you're choosing that type of partnership to choose someone that understands your lifestyle. Choose someone that can fully get, okay, this is how you need to live, and this is how we can design it for you. Then you go into the development, and that's the final stage of the design. That's where you get your detailed drawings and your specifications. Set goals with your contractor, coordinate with your builder and your GC to define the timelines, the performance, the budget, your schedule, and your ultimate goals for your home. There's the permitting process. The permitting process is the process of obtaining your permits from your local municipality for the grading, zoning, construction, and building of your home. So I'm going to turn this over to my architect for just maybe 2 minutes, and he's just going to let you guys know the up-to-date things that they are requiring for homeowners that are rebuilding within the town of Altadena. He's down there almost every day. He's put in the work, he's going to talk to them every day. And so he's just going to kind of let you guys know, so you can take a few notes of what you're going to need to even apply for your permits.
Thank you, Kendra.
So Brian,
Yeah.
you can skip ahead because I had to
I didn't get the rest of it. After he went, it was over. I left.
Okay, yeah, because he was talking, and I had to give Kendra some looks like, tell him wrap it up, because he was reading and just kept going. But he was giving good information about the permitting process, because that's Kendra's architect named Ryan, and he literally has been going down every week, she said, to all the planning commission meetings and the permitting meetings so that he can have updated information. Now, he did have some of it, not the latest information. And Allison came back later and gave the most recent, because she's in contact with some other people, even at the state level, some senators and stuff. And she had like more updated. So she gave a little bit more context and said, not that it was wrong, but it's changing so frequently that he had gotten stuff earlier in the week and she had gotten stuff like that morning, even night before and that morning. Right. So she did come back and say, hey, by the way, because she spoke after lunch and I know that you were gone. So I
won't miss another one. Tell you that. We got to have the technicality stuff, and we want this to be tip top. So I graded it a 9 out of 10 strictly on my own. I took the 1 point off on my stuff, because I didn't get to stream it like I wanted to. And, I'm a perfectionist, Tony. You already know I
am too.
And Jamal was watching it, and he goes, yeah, man, it was funny. It sounded like your phone was ringing, and then it just fell. I said, because it was on vibrate, because I didn't want to disturb nothing. But I didn't have a stand for it. And me and the dude back there, the technical guy that you have me working with, Tony, we were trying desperately to put some boxes, tissue, all kinds of stuff.
Trying to jerry.
Because I had one selfie stick, and then you see how crisp that was filmed. Yeah. I didn't want to trade it for that thing. Then he tried to give me a stand, but it was a gimbal, and I had to pair it with my phone. I was like, so next time it'll be on point.
But you know what? Again, this was the very first one. And for us to have like 150 people there, 140 or 30 or however many showed up, and the whole
amazing.
Not only all the seats that were available for the most part were full, but there were people in the foyer, right? In all those chairs that were there. There were people sitting in the back of the church. We have chairs. So they didn't want to go sit at the tables, but they were sitting. So the turnout was really good. And for the most part, It was extremely positive, and the feedback that I have gotten was positive. Even the feedback saying it was overwhelming. That's positive feedback, because guess what? Some people just aren't there yet. And like I said to the people in attendance, I'm doing everything I can. My sister, who's 3 years older than me, told me a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, Tony, she was like, you got to slow down when it comes to us, because you're 2 months ahead of us. She said, you are getting all this information and we need it. We're not there yet. She says, so you might have to spoon feed us, right? You might have to tell us over and over and over, which is part of what we do on this podcast, right? We're reiterating things daily. And once people are at that place, they can get it, right? But we at least have the information and we're putting it out there. And I had to think about it. And I was like, yeah, we've been running for 2 months straight, but I'm sitting in my house. My house didn't burn down, right? Jamal, same with you. You're sitting in your house. We work from home. This is what we do, but we're still in the comfort. I'm in my bed every night. I'm cooking in my kitchen every day. Whereas my mama has barely cooked. My sister has cooked a little too, but not like what they would do at home, because it's not their home. It's not their favorite utensil to cook with, their favorite pot or pan or whatever.
The seasonings, you got to buy all those again.
Or their familiar kitchen, because they know where things were. And
some of them seasons was homemade too, your own batch. So you didn't had it for a bit. Like, I gotta make this again.
No doubt. And all I'm thinking is, I gotta get this. I gotta do this for them. I gotta make sure that they know. And so I can go faster through the phases, right? Because I got them all the phase 1 info. Called the Army Corps engineers, like, don't you touch this lot until we sift it. Called, did all this, and then call back. Where my mother was like, I can't think about it. I can't, because they were still processing. Everything from 57 years is gone. Where me, soon at like I wear my emotions on my sleeve, right? Soon as they called me and they were all together at 3:45 in the morning, I sat up in my bed and screamed and bawled in my bed, like just crying, not about just the house and my childhood, but for my parents. And so I immediately started my grieving, where when my brother went over to my nephew's apartment to tell them their house was gone, my dad, I guess, went into shock mode. My mom cried a little, but my mom is not one that wears her emotions on her sleeve. She never has. My mom is a holder, right? She will hold emotions. She didn't cry when her mama died, and we were all bawling, but she did it in the way she had to process and grieve, right? And so everybody has to do it at their pace and when they're ready. And that is the same with getting the information, processing what's coming to you, grieving some more, going to the next step, getting the information. And then even with this phase 3 of the rebuild, getting that and processing it. So I have to constantly remind myself, not just to show people grace in the fact that, they're all over, but yeah, I'm in my house every day. I didn't lose my house. And so therefore I gotta get the information, give it, and then allow people to get to where I might be, which might be a couple months ahead. Because my thing is, hey, let me get this. Let's get these permits going. Let's start getting this army. Let's get these houses built. I'm going to be there helping sling a hammer or screw a nail or, whatever I need to do. Mm-hmm. And people are like, girl. And I'm like, energy. If I got to run for the next 2-3 years, so be it. I'll be a little bit tired, but oh well, we'll get to celebrate and, pop a bottle on the door and, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah.
StarCL Media be in the house doing all the media coverage. So that we can make sure that you get this. We'll be going live. We'll be doing pre-recorded because sometimes up in Altadena you can't go live. There's no internet. So
right.
I was shocked when I was at Franklin and I was able to keep a signal to go live to just show Franklin. It was like janky.
Well, you know what? I was up there about a week and a half ago up by Farnsworth Park. And up there by the house, we don't get no signal, right? But there was a mobile Verizon dude. They had their truck on the wheels, the tower. And I was driving past the park, went up Monterosa, went up Marengo, all that, had great service. Was like, yes.
Yeah, they brought a tower.
because I was by the tower. Came down Mount Curve around, getting ready to come on Wapello. Signal just dropped by Concha. By Concha.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna need Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever, to get and put them all over the place.
Yeah.
Well,
But
here's the thing. Here's the thing. They used to pay people to put them in their yards, like $2,000 or $3,000 a month.
A month. Yeah.
The problem with most people is that 5G, it's going to cause cancer. I mean, we've been dealing with 4G, 3G, 2G, and now y'all crying. And when 2030 comes, it's going to be 6G. When 2040 comes, it's going to be 7G. Y'all got more devices in your house today than you did 10 years ago. You got 5 iPads, 5 iPhones. Your mama got a smart TV and her phone and her little tablet. The refrigerator is a smart device that's taking internet. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
Yeah, because I can turn my washer and dryer on with my phone if I want to. The range,
That's crazy.
Like, no, real.
No,
I mean, I believe you,
will
but
tell you when you need some more milk.
I can
know
start
the
my
car
car right now and precondition it and tell my car what to do from my phone. So everything is, that's like somebody saying about privacy. Y'all ain't had privacy in 20 plus years. Quit acting like you've ever had some, and everything is smart now and eavesdrops. So yeah, they ought to be able to have more towers, but I guess right now they're like anybody up here. So, we got one. Hey,
we ain't putting infrastructure in. We don't even know where y'all gonna be in 5 years.
Exactly, Elaine. And that's why I'm telling you, I was on Marengo from Loma Alta all the way down, came down, went on Mount Curve right there at the top of the park, and kept going and was going around past Parkment, got to Concha, and it started and then it just dropped. By the time I got in front of the house on Wapello, I was like, oh, come on. And I was like, well, I'm too far from, it was literally on the corner of like Lake and Mount Curve, right above where the Farnsworth Park, where it burned up, the big building that we used to have everything in. So anybody that was in that area was able to get, they were able to get some kind of service, but it is what it is. So, but Brian, I appreciate you having that and pulling that stuff up. Kendra was amazing. She was ready. I will reiterate to builders yet again, whatever you want to bring when we have something live, make sure you bring it. And then I really want to have something so we can at least get a lot of the questions and questions answered that people feel we ran out of time and they didn't get to do, right? Because again, I tried to make it where I can mitigate that. And I said, look, all of your questions are important. We want to hear them. The builders want to hear them. Please email me. I said, it's TonyTalks@altadenatalks.com. Please email me any question that you have.
Tony with an I, Toni Talks. Don't do Tony
I didn't say that, did I?
Maybe that's what happened.
Tony with an I.
But you know what? Other people have emailed me and I didn't say Tony with the I.
Well, for people who are watching, it's right there on your backdrop.
Right. But you know what? I have the list of everybody.
In fact, let's focus on that backdrop real quick. Oh, wrong person.
And I have a bunch of phone numbers, so I'm going to be calling people today. And then there's other people, Rhonda Carson, Nikki and Chuck, others that were like, we didn't know about it. And I'm like.
So y'all see that, right? Toni Talks. Tony Talks at Altadena Talks. We zoomed in for you so that you can see the real nitty gritty. You go uptown, downtown. You got to turn your life around. Electric Kingdom. Bring back the civics. We need a senior civic moment.
Oh,
all the people that used to be like 17 to 21 back in
Gypsy Lover's still around, so
at the Civic Center.
Yeah.
So do y'all know
Uncle Jam's Army?
What's Larry's name? Well, his name is Larry Bowens, but he was always pop lock and looked like Michael Jackson, real dark brown skin.
No, I'm sure B knows him.
I'm probably remembering. Is he in the talent shows?
That's my cousin's husband.
Was he in the talent shows at Mirror?
He didn't go to Mirror.
No, but it didn't matter if you went to Mirror. You could be in the talent show because we used to go to
I'm
HS
trying to
and
think of what his name is. Smooth. He like 6 something. Look just like Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson was dark. With brown skin.
Had the big nose.
The original Michael.
Yeah, just like Michael Jackson, right?
The big nose MJ, not little
I
nose.
know him. He's like I said, he's my cousin's husband, Larry Bowens. But what's Larry's name that he goes by? Something smooth, something I don't know. Anyway, he's still pop locking, and they a little older than me. They in their 60s already, I think. But
Hey, at least they ain't going to arthritis.
absolutely
Keep
not.
moving.
Look, we can have a party, and I'll be like, Danae, tell Larry, come on to this party and get his pop lock on, because
You're gonna get everybody coming out trying to
talking
do
about
something.
Mr. Stretch? Is that him?
Yes,
No.
LB Stretch. That's it.
Yeah.
LB Stretch. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's Larry Bowens, but LB Stretch is his name, because he's
Let
real
me-
long and he be doing. I'm like, Larry been popping forever.
Let me tell you, Tony, I had a 80s party at my house in Santa Clarita back in 2005. Now, mind you, this is 20 years after I graduated high school, and this dude come up there, he wanted to battle me right now. Jamal, Larry Quisenberry, and John Epps was DJing for me at the time, right? So I battled him. I killed him, right? I throw 2 ribs at a place. I had to have my sister. I had to lay on my stomach and have my sister come sit on my back and bounce up and down to pop my ribs back into place. I was so jacked up. I was like, I'll never do that again.
So
And I was only 38.
Oh, gee.
So
dumb.
I was like, man, I thought I had it. I was like, yeah, fool, what you want to do? And then, shit, It was awful.
Let me tell you though,
Hey, but you won though.
because I tell y'all I'll be 60 in a few months in October, right? I had like rotator cuff surgery. I had to look at which shoulder the other day, like which one has the little things, right? And I told you how this one has been like frozen shoulder lately. And I've been wearing the shoulder pad. Yeah, when I went to my appointment at the VA the other day, she gave me this.
And that rub-on cream.
It's a rub-on. It's a topical. She was like, I'm going to give you this topical gel. So when it got here yesterday, I looked and it's an NSAID, right? But I was like, arthritis pain reliever.
Oh, this is some special stuff just for your shoulder. Don't read what it say on the package.
Because she
also, this came with a free sample of Geritol.
She was just right. She was just like,
That's
okay, I'm gonna do a
Metamucil.
prescription. I'm gonna send you a prescription topical for it because I told her I was doing the Motrin. She said it could be a topical Motrin. So
That's an enhanced version of Icy Hot.
Right, because you know you can't take too many Motrins at one time, right? Or because your stomach can get messed up
Tell
over
your
time.
guts up.
Right. She said, I'm gonna give you a topical Motrin. I was like, oh, okay, topical Motrin, cool, right? Baby, when this came yesterday and I got it, I was like, oh, good. And I opened it and I read it and I was like, arthritis pain reliever. I was like, oh, you letting me know I'm finna be 60. Because, baby,
you got that APR. Arthritis pain reliever.
I fell out. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay.
In case you didn't know how
I have a podiatrist client.
Here, let me remind you. I'm gonna send you some arthritis pain reliever. I was like,
that is
dang.
I'm gonna get you one of these ones too. It's called cryo something, and my podiatrist client gives it to me. It's a roll-on. And you roll it on your wherever your pain is, and I'm gonna tell you like this: it hits you cold, and you be like, for real, man. It's almost like a drug. I'll be in there going, it's all wet. Because it's wet. It don't go on dry, so you can't put it, have no shirt on. You got to leave it off and the air hit it, and then all of a sudden it take your shoulder and you're like this. And you be like,
when I opened that and I was like, oh, let me put some on, right? And I put some on. And you do that because it's okay. But then when I started reading and I saw that right on the front, I was like, that's jacked up. Like that is.
Now you're doing commercials. I'm following it. I can't get it.
Right. Because all she told me was, I'm going to send you some topical Motrin. And then it's like this arthritis pain cream. Like, yeah, I got some ginger rub and I do have some Tiger Balm in there. But neither one of those were really helping last week. So
you need that arthritis pain reliever.
This has helped. I'm not gonna lie, it has helped. So I'm like, oh, I'm at that stage in my life. I got to have the arthritis pain.
I've been there for 10 years.
Yeah. So I'm like, but when you have rotator cuff surgery, and it's been since 2006, so I'm not complaining. It's almost 20 years. But now here's the commercial.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm Tony Bell from Tony Talks, and when I'm not speaking on the podcast, I'm rubbing this crap all over my shoulder.
Right.
And if you guys see me grimace on certain occasions when I lift my arm, then you
When I lift
know
my
why.
arm, you know what's happening, right?
Right.
You can get this too. Act now. Operators are standing by.
But you got to be a veteran to get it for free from the VA. No.
Right, because it probably cost $50.
Who knows? I just know I went to her.
Oh, it was free from the VA?
Oh, they send me everything free. I don't pay for no medicine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Trying to get my
part. That's the benefit of serving.
Right.
You're not supposed to ever have to pay.
No, I'm just getting him set up right now. So
well,
finally.
being a veteran that has a disability rating, because I go to my doctor's appointments, I get my meds for nothing because I also have a rating, right? So if you don't have a rating or your rating is lower, you may not get that. You may have co-pays and things like that. But yes, I served. I have injuries that were service related, and so therefore I have a rating. And so yes, my care is at no cost and my medication. Thank the Lord. But but yeah, you're right. Who knows how this generic brand, how much that little generic brand is, but I'm thankful for it. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah. But anyway, now that we've had the comedy hour after the Tony Talks hour.
I
know we're at an hour 40 in.
I know. I guess we're done.
People are still taking the time, but
you
know, we always go until the interaction stops. So, and that's why I made a post the other day to promote the show for the first time.
I saw that.
Yeah, I shared it.
I felt overwhelmed. I felt like people needed to know, but I said that we don't do pre-recorded. We're a real podcast. It's based off interaction. If we didn't have anybody interacting, we wouldn't be going this long. You know what I'm saying? So
people are on the things saying things.
You know, so and we got our regular in audience people, and we love it because they're actually the ones that care the most. We got Marcus comes on, Elaine. Corey used to come on. I don't know what happened. Chattanooga weather must have choked her up. You know,
she said that she's busy she has like a meeting during this time now.
Oh, okay.
I think she's going to be in that phase, so it probably has to do with that, either meeting or rehearsal or something. That's what I believe, but she had told me that like a week and a half ago.
All right, so we got some good chimer inners all the time, and people know now that
will pop in. She will be here.
Yeah, she'll be in here about 5 minutes
right before we get ready to get off.
5 minutes before we get off.
Who is that?
Renee Brown hasn't been on lately.
Oh. And Erica and a few others, but it's always busy. Everybody's got different time frames. We're the only ones that are consistently always on here at this time. So, and I'm up in Vegas right now, and I told Sherry, I said, "Look, I'm here to help you with your apparel, but I have an obligation to Altadena that outweighs your apparel."
Right.
So,
right now that's my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whole different show, girls. Whole different show. Hey, I just got a follow-up email from Colleen Shelby. That's the LA Times reporter. She wants to call me after 2 for a follow-up. So
I don't know. We got a couple more press releases we're going to be releasing too. So let me give a shout out to Pasadena Now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's always been pushing our stuff.
Yeah.
As well as Pasadena Black Pages.
Yep.
And Altadena Now also has good references for their stuff. Shout out to Altadena, California groups. There's about 3 or 4 of them that we're with. Yeah. Chris Knapp sent out an invite for us to share our podcast on the group, which has about 15,000 members. Nice. And because I don't like to go and post stuff on people's stuff without getting permission, because that's
you do
spamming.
It the right way. Yeah, you do it the right way.
So we don't advertise. We don't. This is just really. I don't want anybody else here put out to these people.
Well, you know what? When we get ready to do the next town hall, we probably need to put it there, because if a lot of people need to know about it, and we do the event right, and we see that we're going to get a lot more, individuals saying they want to come, that will dictate the venue. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about the one I'm going to do specifically in Monrovia. I think I'm going to be able to do that one for those people that are there, but for later. And hopefully as we do things at different places, people because people talk, right? If we do something horrible, they're gonna tell it quickly.
Oh,
Well,
sure.
because Altadena talks.
They do talk.
Right. Exactly. They're gonna run and talk it and tell it and everything else. So
Run tell that.
do it well so that they run and tell that we did it well, right? Because that's what we want, and the information gets out there.
We want the real because we're bringing the real, plain and simply.
And what I want to do is when I get back, I want to start canvassing Altadena for some locations that we might be able to utilize. I know there's a couple of them that might cost a little bit, but they would be worth, utilizing. And we just got to keep this going. We got months.
Yeah.
People like interacting and they love to have these things. So I don't mind. I love the fact that we're a voice for Altadena, and Altadena's got a voice through us. I mean, please, people, come on to the comments, comment, interact with us. Tell us some stuff we don't know.
Yeah, tell us stuff we don't know.
That's a famous line when you know something. Tell me something I don't know. Well, do you know how old I am? Oh, yeah, I don't know that. Well, then be quiet because I'm older than you. So let me try to tell me how to tell you that. But no, we're always open. Ziva always sends us messenger stuff about. She sent us some stuff about the trees, how they're marking them with blue dots and now red. I said Tony talks about that every show, and this is the only one she didn't talk about it. But we love the fact that it's interactive and that you guys are sending us stuff. That's why we have an email address, altadenatalks@gmail.com. We all have individuals, Tony talks at Altadena Talks, Brian at Altadena, Jamal at Altadena Talks. So there's no possible way that you cannot reach out to us, and we will have a phone number for Altadena Talks soon. We're waiting for our nonprofit status to kick in. That should happen in about a week or two, maybe less. I check it every day because I want to announce it. I've been waiting so bad. We're now official. That's what I want to be able to say. So we just got a lot of stuff going on. Ziva's also is the one that's responsible for our backdrop. And pretty soon I'm going to have these end credits that pop up while we're talking so you can see everybody that's involved. We'll have our Altadena Chamber of Commerce representative Elaine be popping up on the thing. And what happened? The covert, Marty said the Cadaver org watched the podcast yesterday. Oh, cool.
Awesome.
So they got,
what did they say? I wonder how did they like it?
I'm gonna tell you that hit my heart. I was trying to not cry because again, I can't imagine it, but it was incredible that Marcus was able to share that and he didn't get choked up, which they probably at the site had their time to do the grieving and everything. But that's amazing work that they do. That's really, really amazing work. Oh, they loved it.
Oh, that is awesome.
I just came up with the slogan for our show. Altadena Talks. Sharing one life at a time, because this is what we're doing, and it's groovy.
It was they were emotional. Yeah, they were like I was. Yeah, gotta be.
Because you figure it's twofold when we're looking at the pictures and the videos. Number one, you're looking at the devastation of your home, right, and what used to be and all those dreams and what have you and memories, but then you have the main purpose for why those people were there and the dogs, and that takes you to a whole nother emotional level. And when he was expressing how diligent they were working and how they just were wanting to keep going and really find the specific thing that they're looking for, I mean, that was just, I mean, it's definitely heartwarming because it lets you know that people are willing to help people that had nothing to do with this. And that was beautiful. And hopefully it inspires other folks to reach out to them and utilize their services because it brings some closure to a certain degree to that situation.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that, Marcus. I'm like, I was wondering how you felt the whole time. I mean, you expressed it to us yesterday, but the sheer emotion of the hope of finding something and, just to see these people in action that have no obligation to you whatsoever, but to just come out there and assist you. And this is why, and I get choked up because, Altadena has always been that town that you go and get the shirt off the back because that's how we are. you know. And with World Central Kitchen and all of these other pop-ups I've seen on Woodbury, still
Farrell's
diligently
Burger.
out there, Farrell's Burger, Farmers Markets. I mean, because you got to remember, we're 1 degree of separation from every Altadena person.
Yep.
Not 6, 1. Because the same lady that owns Farrell's Burger, she drinks with me up at Rancho.
Don't be putting her on blast like that, bruh.
No, she's fine with it. She comes up there all the time. It's not, that doesn't hinder her from doing her work. She doesn't go up there and get sloshed drunk. It's just social hour. The thing is, majority of the people are going and frequenting the places. You know, I've seen a lot of people now going down to Rocco's. I personally like to not spend a lot of money for drinks, so I've been frequenting our place, the letter R place next to Big Five. Yeah. It looks just like Rancho on the inside, except they have 2. I'm gonna repeat, 2 pool tables. So Chris, the owner of Rancho, if you're listening, I need you to build back the Rancho. Everyone's behind you on it. We want this to happen, but I need you to build it 2-story so that you can have the nice little upstairs band area for the people with another separate bar, and downstairs with 2 pool tables. When you build your apartments behind the Rancho, put that 20-foot wall up so we can actually smoke cigars in the back. You know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that can happen there. You know, I'm rooting for you, Chris. I am. We all are. We want you to be back.
I just got a reminder on my Facebook of when I was at Rancho. There was a
shout out to Joey Galloway. Please rebuild. That Mariposa Junction was the staple every first Saturday of the month. You had vendors out there. Joey Galloway and his whole family have always been community people, always try to do things for the community. I was just down at their relatives, John Kennedy, when they dedicated the pool at Jack Ramsden Park. I was standing there, right? I was just talking to Peanut, right? And his sister Lena Kennedy was like, I'm looking for somebody to take some photos. I can't find a photographer. Peanut said, go get your camera out of the car. Okay. But that's us. That's the community we are. And I wasn't doing anything. Hell, I didn't really charge her for it because I wasn't thinking about doing it. But the whole thing was she loved the quality of the picture so much. Now she calls me for other things. So, and that's helping me re-energize the economy by keeping the dollar, just like they said in Tulsa in the documentary. The dollar in Tulsa circulated within the Black Wall Street community 30 times before it left the city. Right. And that's what we're trying to get back. We're trying to get back the economy rolling. That's why I don't go out of Altadena. I patronize every place. The Thai place that moved across the street from the Rancho. They got Meatless Tuesdays. I love that because first of all, my Mongolian barbecue spot and the El Pollo Alvarado a la Brasa is closed on Tuesday. So that works out perfectly for me.
Perfect.
And it's so good. But, you know, it's the different restaurants. You know, it's just, it's dope. That's how it is. So, yes, small businesses. And that's another thing that we need to focus on, too. Tony said it earlier, and I kind of was like, no, but then again, I got to take that back. We do need to patronize the restaurants and the businesses who are still here because they need our help. They are built on us patronizing them. One place I got to give a shout out for, not just because they're my clients, but they make delicious burgers. That's King's Burgers and Burgers. They have been on the forefront. They're right on Woodbury at Los Robles and Hens T Square. They're across the street from Altadena, but the majority of their business comes from Altadena. And they used to be the ones that did the tacos on Thursdays and Friday nights at the Rancho. So everyone misses those tacos. So guys, we're going to find another place for you to be, a big event. In fact, this next town hall, we might even have you guys come out there and do some things. So we got to keep the business going. So appreciate everybody watching. And oh yeah, the hairstylists and the barbers. Yeah, because my barber's this place. He was at a spot where they closed at 7, and he was only there for 4 hours because by the time he got there, his hours were like 12 to nothing or 12 to 10 or whatever. So there's been a lot of movement around Altadena to get people to come back to actually give them a place to be. So a lot of the stylists that didn't have a lot of people or booth rents are now opening their doors to allow some of the barbers to come in. I know now my barber is now located next to Ron's barbershop on New York and Lake.
Yeah.
So, yes, I want them all to come back because I love my restaurant.
Yeah. It is so important, especially as houses begin to get rebuilt, that it's simultaneous, right? That the businesses are back. And I don't know when they're going to start clearing lots from businesses, and those business owners can start building.
I think they need to do that right away. Think
do
about all the builders and the volunteers are going to need something to eat. They're not going to want to try to go all the way down.
Exactly.
They need to be able to go to some spots that are right there. So I know Carol's
We're going to have food trucks there in the interim, which is again on the volunteer sheet. Volunteer and be somebody that could bring food, sandwiches, waters, drinks, whatever, juices to the volunteers. It doesn't matter what, just volunteer. And then we'll say, okay, these are the areas that we need when we get to that point, right? Mm-hmm. But it's going to really take all of us together to do this and be able to get our town back.
Yeah, because we got Fox's burned down, Everest Burger burned down, Aldi burned down, and all the other little small shops that were just up and coming. They just opened up a new restaurant on Mariposa in that building, and he was only there a month.
Yep.
So, and the vegan pancake spot, you know, my roommate was always talking about that spot. Oh, because she's so vegan, right? I don't like anything vegan. I like everything. I like everything fatty, and you know. But then I ate there, and that pancake was pretty good. So I was like, oh, I might have to come here. So it's funny how your neighbors will introduce you to restaurants that you never thought you would even walk into. That's another thing. So that's what I loved about the town. It was just like, it was a great town. It still is. I'm not going to say it was.
Is Webster's, the old Webster's building, is still standing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought. So if they
that's where the Thai restaurant is.
And in fact, that list when you were originally talking about supporting those businesses, I brought up the list from that article, and Webster's was one of them. I'll find that article again and share it.
Yeah, that original Webster's building, if it's still there, that would be great because it's been empty for a while, right? Get that, make sure it's habitable, and get some businesses in there. Start leasing them, hopefully, so some of the businesses can come back and have
they got a huge parking lot
in the back, right?
Yeah.
And so Webster's is not there anymore, Ziva. Webster's is over on Lake by the Chase, across from the Jack in the Box, just north of Jack in the Box. And it's only the pharmacy, and it's just a little itty bitty. Just you go in for the pharmacy. The cards and all of that was sold off because the Webster's family doesn't have it anymore or whatever. But the card part was sold off, and it was over on Fair Oaks. And
then that guy, because I used to go pick up my UPS packages from there, and it was this funny name that they turned it into, the Wild and Wacky Lollapalooza or something. But the owner of that spot decided that he wanted to kick them out because he wanted to live in the building.
Right.
I'm gonna put them on blast because you took away like conveniences for people, so you're on blast.
Yeah, so Webster's is open, but it's not in that same building that we knew as Webster's with all the, stair step, you step down, the next part. It is just the pharmacy, but it was, remember where Quiznos was? The old Thrifties, which is Chase Bank, and then just below it was like a little dance and Quiznos or whatever. That's where the Webster's pharmacy is right now, in that Chase Bank parking lot.
It's across from where Fox's was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have
we need Fox's back
online right now. I have the address is 2333 Lake Ave.
Yeah. So you're right. We do need Fox's back. I hope they build back. You remember you guys when, look, this is how you know you grew up in Altadena for real. Remember when Everest was Pioneer Chicken?
Mm-hmm.
And before that, when it was the 76 gas station?
I don't remember 76
I don't
gas
remember
stations.
that.
Well,
I
you
do
know,
remember when that spot down the street used to be Sundries. You used to go get them good burgers.
oh yeah. It used to be 76 gas station. And then, because the
Well,
Stivers,
Thrifties used to be where Bank of America
Chase.
is now. I mean,
B
or
of A,
Chase is. Yeah, that's
where
right.
Chase
Yep.
is. Yeah, that was
Yep.
old Thrifties back in the day. But no, it was 76 gas station on that corner first on Mendocino and Lake. And then, and that's when we had what? Alpha, Beta, Market Basket,
Yes.
Ralph's, all the different ones. Now it's grocery outlet. But it was a 76 gas station when we were little, and it was a full service gas station. We didn't have to get out the car. They washed the windows,
I
they
remember
pumped
those.
the gas, all of that. And then when the Stivers, it was two brothers, Jack and is it Jim, John, whatever. But they lived 2 houses down from us. And Helen and I are still friends to this day, and all of us, the Stivers kids. But and so it was their dad and uncle. And then when it closed, they had to fully dig it up because the tanks had to be removed from underground. And then that's when it became Pioneer Chicken. And that's when they built Pioneer Chicken.
So do you remember when Fair Oaks Burger used to be Louisiana Fried Chicken?
Fried chicken. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was the actual good Louisiana Fried Chicken,
Good,
not
yeah.
the crap
Yeah,
they
way
serve
back in the
today?
day. Right. And that was because prior to that, the only other Pioneer Chicken was over there on Fair Oaks and Orange Grove by the Wig store.
Where was
one of
White
the
Castle? Was that where Fair Oaks Burger used to be? I mean, Fair Oaks Burger is now?
Yes, which is the nastiest little thing on earth.
Man, you be in the bathroom for days eating that garbage. They got one up here in Vegas. I tried it. I was there for 2 days.
Yeah, it's White Castle's nasty, and people from Chicago swear by it.
Love it. They love it out there.
Nasty.
It's like that. It's like when you ate that mystery fish in the cafeteria. That kind of thing.
Have a
The
slider.
fake Salisbury steak sandwich that tastes all
Yeah.
with the gravy that's unsalted. And the lady
They talk about White Castle like we talk about In-N-Out, right? And then
we love In-N-Out though.
hello, right? We'll be ready to fight somebody by In-N-Out, like
for all the right reasons.
One by LAX, right?
It's nostalgic and it's still under $11.
And it's good.
You go to Five Guys, you're spending $11 for just one meat pad.
Yes.
You can get two
You
meals.
gotta step through all the peanuts on the floor and stuff, right?
And if you got allergies, you're gonna die.
Right, anybody got time for that? Lindsay
not even
got it when she was 27. She's still rolling with it. Let's rock with Lindsay, and we're gonna be our In-N-Out folks.
She don't play. She was she shut down her first store ever in Oakland because of the crime. She didn't even want to have to deal with it.
That's what, a year and a half ago now? She was like, oh, y'all want to keep robbing people when they get off work and all this kind of stuff? Shut it down.
We're not going to provide nothing for y'all.
Right. Yep. So, and
I love the fact that she's the owner, period, and makes all the decisions.
Well, yeah, because her dad passed away, and she got the whole store, the whole franchise at 27 years old. Yeah. So, and for a long time, still lived in Bradbury, and then she moved, but she just moved the headquarters back from Irvine. She was in Irvine, and just 2 weeks ago, it was in the Star News. She's moving it back up here to the original location.
Baldwin Park.
Baldwin Park. She's moving the headquarters back.
I remember when that training facility that they now closed down and used for a training facility was the In-N-Out on Baldwin Park Boulevard. You get off the freeway, you was like right there. Yeah, man, let me get a double with extra onions, homie.
Leave it, that's real, because I used to live in New Mexico after I got out the service for a while, and they have a Whataburger. And they would be like, oh, Whataburger's so good. I was like, no, y'all need some In-N-Out. And so now that
that's like a bad version of Fatburger.
Right. Now that Texas finally got an In-N-Out, they, like, I got cousins and friends down there, and they're so happy. And they're like, we finally, what was that, 2 years ago it opened or whatever, and the lines were crazy long. Yeah, that's dope, Marcus, because they've been doing not only free food, but that new farmers market that they're having over here at Fair Oaks Burger.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's dope. And
see, this is why we can never get off, because y'all like to talk to us, so we don't mind. Man, you better see, Terry, you from Tulsa. I'm going to go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt, but when you come back out here in April,
we're taking
you to In-N-Out.
At least he just said they were decent. Right?
But he ain't tasting it.
He didn't say it was the best ever, right?
I'm gonna film
Like
Terry because
White
he's
Castle
gonna take a
sometimes.
bite of it, and then he's gonna have some country commentary that I'm gonna really want to get on tape.
A double animal style too.
Animal style.
And with animal style fries.
Yes.
And a Neapolitan shake.
Right.
Like what? Yeah, Whataburgers ain't it. But
No.
right, like what? Animal style? Yes. Double.
Yeah, they got the secret menu that you need to be privy to.
Right.
They got a 4-banger. You can get a double,
if you're really hungry, get a 4x4.
Yeah, I could barely.
I had one of those in high
school.
That's not about In-N-Out. That's
I know it's about what Elaine just did.
Whataburger, yeah. Look, I don't care where you live. If you're from Cali and you used to In-N-Out, ain't no other burger joint's gonna match it.
And you know what kills me? Five Guys decided that they gonna take the same colors as In-N-Out, the same kind of style. You notice that, right?
It's kind of psychological.
Oh, what about
they pick the colors for psychology.
You remember Smash Burger was out here a few years ago for $15 burger alone that they just do like this and smash it down on the grill.
I'd rather go to Fuddruckers.
Okay, right.
Build your own burger. Man, my burgers used to be this high.
Yeah, Fuddruckers was crazy. Oh, that takes us all the way back to the original then, Farrell's.
Oh,
Farrell's,
right there on Raleigh.
Yes.
Look, you knew you was special when you can have a birthday.
Hello.
Farrell's, because the Farrell's was expensive.
They come out with the sparklers and stuff on the ice cream they brought.
Yep. And
they
if
always
you were
had that
old
siren.
enough to eat enough, you did the trough, and they brought it to the table.
Right. And you was like, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm getting first dibs. Knowing that you was lactose intolerant. And you ate all that ice cream and was in the bathroom for a month.
Yeah, we always had burgers at Farrell's. I mean, birthdays at Farrell's. That's hilarious. Matter of fact, my niece, she's 30, so probably 10 years ago or whatever, we had one.
Terry, you keep on saying all these ones we can't stand are good. We're going to take you to some. Look, I'm going to take you to Hawkins Burgers in Compton. Now, it takes 2 hours to get your burger, but once you get it, woo, buddy. Terry going to be like, oh my God, I'm never leaving California. I'm going to post up right here. But it was Hawkins Burgers. Now, you're going to say Starbucks is garbage. How can it be garbage if you're making it yourself? That doesn't make sense, Terry.
That's look, you see what Marcus said? Cousin Terry.
Terry, all I want from you right now is send me 2 of them yellow watermelons. I need that in my life. They get ones with the seeds. This dude be having a truck.
I could get my cousin to send them. He get them every day. He sells them down in New Orleans. And he'd be like, cuz you want some? I'm like, ship them. And
put them on the Greyhound. I'll be right down there to pick them up. That's the best ground you can get.
In dry ice and send them FedEx or whatever. I'll pay the extra $100.
Yeah, I need my watermelons, man. They don't have in the oblong ones, not them round ones that seedless, the oblong ones.
No,
when you used to remember when they used to cut the wedge and be this long, you be like.
And let me tell you something. I don't even like watermelon.
How was that again? What'd you do?
But them yellow ones are all right. And he got another one. I told him I want the seeds so I could grow them in my backyard. He's stupid. This is not after dark. I need y'all to be heavy.
No, we're eating the watermelon. You know how when your mama used to take the oblong watermelon, it'd be long, and she give you that long piece that come up like this, and you be doing it like a typewriter.
This is why we be on here 2 hours, y'all, with these nuts.
And 8 minutes.
Yeah, but not the yellow one. Okay, so Terry, where you get your yellow watermelons in? We don't get that.
Down in
New Orleans.
In Alabama. He goes down near Mobile and gets them from New Orleans. He just drives every day like 4 hours, gets them, and then Shake Shack. Oh, okay.
Shake Shack is
it's
okay.
Yeah, I hate that. The one out here when I first got it was in the Orleans. No, South Point. It was in South Point. And I was like, sirloin steak burger. It doesn't really do anything. It didn't have this. It had the same taste as the regular burger. So I'm like, what's the point? The steak was bomb though, and their fries are on point. But the burger, I mean, it could work. Well, you guys, it's been 2 minutes and 2 hours and 9 minutes. We are going to get the flock out of here because, I don't eat before this show. And, of course, I'm starving. But since I'm staying in a timeshare, I'm going to go to the grocery store and get some food.
You going to cook a little something?
Who's talking about breakfast burritos? Elaine?
What you not doing? Started breakfast burritos with who? Okay,
Right.
so Lucky Boys.
I was going to say, she talking about Lucky Boys?
Lucky Boys got the bomb breakfast burrito, but Jamal can attest to this. They give you a whole bunch of pastrami, but it's tasty. No flavor.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That ain't cool.
But they give you a lot. It's almost like you want to put it back in the pot and put your own au jus sauce on and let it simmer.
Yeah.
Man.
Tops makes a good one. You can get a good one there.
Tom's got the original burger. It's pastrami on a burger. Oh my god! With the zucchini fries, with the blue cheese dip.
Yeah, I remember you got that one time.
Well,
man. I was looking at you like, how the hell you gonna eat
Everest
that?
was all the same.
Huh?
Tops and Everest?
Everest was the same.
Really? Because Everest give you a half a slice of tomato on their burger, man. I'm like, I'm not trying to eat that.
Yeah, it was the same menu.
No, so Tom's and Everest were all owned by the Bicos. Jimmy Bicos and John Bicos. And then, because the one on Lake was Tom's at first, and then they split, and one took it and made it Everest, and the other one kept the Tom's.
We're talking Tops.
Tops, I mean, not Tom's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tops.
Yeah, Tops brothers, I guess they got mad at each other and split off, and one went over there to Michelin, and the other one stayed over here on Island.
Well, and then the other one got and changed it to Everest up on Lake.
Yeah.
Oh,
really? It was the exact same stuff. You can get
It's
the
all
exact
the
same
same.
stuff.
It's the Bicos brothers.
I wasn't paying attention to their menu. Shouty loves going there, man. He used to be at Everest Burger all the time.
It was just like Tops.
Yeah,
it was.
Jimmy owned. Let me see. I think Jimmy took Everest up on Lake, and I think John had the two Tops down in Pasadena.
Wasn't one called Tops Junior or something?
Yeah, one is Tops and one Top Junior is on Allen and Foothill, and the other,
The
right
other one's the original Tops. That's what
on
they
Lake.
call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
No, they call the one on Colorado and Michelinda, close to Michelinda. They call that the original Tops. I mean, if you go online, that's what it's called.
You know where I used to go? I used to go to Robin's Barbecue on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
All you can eat rib tips.
Yes.
We done,
the burnt ends.
over 2 hours, and we're talking all about food now.
Yeah,
See how we
all
go
hungry.
digressing.
But you see the interactions for the food part.
Love it, because everybody.
I mean,
like, what about
y'all just boost. I'm about to go look at the numbers right now. This is incredible.
Shit, I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Y'all inspired me.
Me too. I gotta get something because I'm hungry.
Okay, well, we've ended the show on a hungry note.
Ziva's, we're making her homesick.
Well, you gotta come out here for something.
Yeah.
Reunion, something.
Her reunion is out for 2 years.
Yeah, our 40th will be in 2 years.
We're trying to get ours together right now.
But come out before then, Ziva.
2 years ago.
I be talking to Ike all the time. He's always talking about you. We all need to get together.
Hi.
You heard? I happened to come on IG. Where them fans at?
You and I. Bobby's Place is also owned by a Muir alumni, John Reese.
Yeah. John Reese, yep.
And that was, I think he graduated 86, right?
No, he's my year, 87.
87?
I've never been there. Where is that?
Yep.
It's right there next to Ralph's on Lake.
But it used to be...
Oh, South Lake.
What was it? It was on El Molino and Walnut.
Oh, yeah. Wilson. Wilson. No, not Wilson. But it was on Walnut and, I guess El Molino.
El Molino. There's apartments there. It used to be something else.
Yeah, because they bought it out. It was Rick's.
It was Rick's.
Yeah. I used to go there all the time. They had some bomb fries.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Super Burger over there on Altadena Drive or Allen, whatever that's.
Oh, the little on the
And this guy was an influencer.
The fries are good though.
Yeah, they're fries.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because I used to go to Burger King, get a Whopper, and then go to McDonald's right next door and get the fries. I like Burger King fries.
Yeah. Like I might go get a Chick-fil-A sandwich, right? Or some nuggets or a salad.
You found him.
That's Larry. It'll be stretched. And that's recent. Larry be pop locking every day. Every day.
We need the civics back, man. We need a senior civic party.
Right.
And let's see, Larry gotta be, Danae is, I think. So me and his wife were first cousins. My mama and her daddy, brother and sister. And our birthdays are the exact same day. And that's her husband. And they've been married, I don't know, 40 years now or something. But that's Larry. We just call him Larry. But LB Stretch is his name. Larry pop locks every day. For real. Still.
You'd be like, I need a burger.
And he sings and everything. And he just be in the garage, outside, everything. I'm like, he got the best joints on the planet, bro.
Yeah, once a dancer, you got to keep moving or else your joints stiffen up.
Yeah. And he does it every day. I'll be like, Larry, get it. Yeah. No, they just be always on everywhere.
Okay.
They still have pop lock picnics.
Elaine, no, don't bring up Soul Train. Don't.
Doing down the Soul Train line.
So me and Elaine used to dance on Soul Train.
Oh.
Yeah, back in the day.
We need to look that up.
Oh, I got the videos. I ain't got nothing to Elaine.
Bring it up.
No, don't bring it up. Leave that alone.
I'm watching this other dude. Oh, okay.
I had fun, but then I stopped dancing because so when we film Soul Train, it's at Channel 5 Studios, and we film it once a month on a Saturday and Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. So we film 4 shows, 2 shows on Saturday, 2 shows on Sunday. But every Saturday and Sunday, we would go to Florentine Gardens afterwards, the whole Soul Train crew. So I got to thinking, why are we going to this spot? I need to get a spot, and then I could brag that the Soul Train dance is going to be there, and then people would come there. So I would have 1,000 people coming to the spot because I know that they're going to be there that weekend. And I only did it once a month. So it turned into me starting to do promotions, and I left Soul Train altogether because I wanted to make money. The fame wasn't nothing. I didn't care about that. That wouldn't get me paid. You know, they gave us Kentucky Fried Chicken for lunch.
I heard.
That was how we paid. I used to get 2 boxes. I'll be starting all that dancing you doing. You be there all day. I mean, all day. Oh God. And then sometimes people they couldn't remember the words to their songs, so they had cue cards in the back. So Johnny Mathis was one of them, and he was singing his song, and we looked back. What is he looking at? And we saw the words, so we turned around and started singing the song with them. And they made us stop, and they did the takeover again because they didn't want to turn around facing the cue cards. Oh my God, that was a good time. Yeah, Palladium was. That's another one. Mental Mondays.
And what was the other one? Carolina West.
Paradise 24. You had Hollywood Live. You had Carlos and Charlie's. You had Miyagi's. You had everything on Sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, Miyagi's was bomb because you had 4 different rooms of entertainment. You could have reggae, hip hop, R&B, and heavy metal, and you had all kinds of people coming in. So, right, it was a child with only KFC's baby. Yeah, here you go. Get some nourishment. You're gonna be back on that stage in 15 minutes.
It was a job with a KFC payment.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll work for food.
All right, I'm going to get food, y'all.
Yeah, me too. We've been talking about food too long. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Box, folks. Thank
we
you.
Love you.
This was our 40th episode.
40 episodes in. That means, what is it? 40 divided, that's 8 weeks of show.
Congratulations, fellas.
Yeah, and as soon as the 50th show comes, we're going to do season 2. We're going to break them up in 50 show increments. But we're still going to say season 2, episode 51. Keep that number growing. Remember, we'll be heading into spring. There's the spring and the summer edition and fall.
True indeed. One love to you too, Marcus.
Peace out, y'all. We're ending it.
See ya.